I never saw her coming, because she never came through the front door. She came through the cracks, through the overlooked corners, through the spaces between the things they were watching. They built their thrones in the light, and she built her kingdom in the shadow of every throne that ever stood. And when the light went out, hers was the only kingdom left standing. She was never in the history they recorded, never in the portraits or rewarded with the titles that the lesser ones were given. She moved beneath the surface of the written. They called her advisor, called her handmaid, called her the woman standing in the shade of the man who held the scepter in the painting, while she held the actual world from fainting. Every treaty that they claimed as his achievement was her architecture, her concealment of the intelligence to threaten and to surface in a world that had decided on her purpose. She learned to make her power look like nothing, to dress ambition up as merely loving, to be the shadow that the spotlight missed, while writing history with her own fist. She never raised her voice above a murmur, but everything she touched became the answer they looked for in the war rooms and the chambers, while she had solved it months before the neighbors even knew the question had been forming. The Shadow Queen was always in the morning of every day before the day it happened. The mind behind the mind, the dark that mattered. Shadow Queen, you were never on the throne. Shadow Queen, but you were never alone in the corridors of power after dark. Shadow Queen, you were the beating heart. Shadow Queen, they wrote them in the book. Shadow Queen, they never took a second look at the woman standing just outside the frame. Shadow Queen, history forgot your name, but the kingdom ran on yours. She raised her sons to be the kind of rulers that she could never be, the kind that schoolers of history will recognize and document, while she became the shadow that they meant. When they said he had a gift for seeing clearly, when they said his judgments came so nearly perfect every time without a failure, they never asked about his closest counselor. She outlived 3 kings and 2 dynasties. She watched the ambitious fall on bended knees before the throne she quietly constructed from the rubble of the ones she had instructed. And in the end, when everything had settled, when the wars were done and time at a level, every monument that pride had built to power, she sat alone inside her final hour and smiled, because the kingdom she had made was still standing, and no one knew her name. And that was exactly how she planned it. She never raised her voice above a murmur, but everything she touched became the answer they looked for in the war rooms and the chambers, while she had solved it months before the neighbors even knew the question had been forming. The Shadow Queen was always in the morning of every day before the day it happened. The mind behind the mind, the dark that mattered. You were never on the throne, Shadow Queen, you were never alone in the corridors of power after dark. Shadow Queen, you were the beating heart. Shadow Queen, they wrote them in the book. Shadow Queen, they never took a second look at the woman standing just outside the frame. Shadow Queen, history forgot your name, but the kingdom ran on yours. Malika lived, queen of the shadow. Malika lived, they will never know the weight of what you carry without credit, the wars you stopped before the kings could edit reality into their preferred version, the truth into their glory, their assertion that greatness was a thing they did alone, while you were building everything they'd own. She was not invisible, she was strategic, she was not silent, she was choosing when to speak. She was not powerless, she was precise. Power that announces itself as power that pays the price of being seen, of being targeted, of being stripped by those who fear what they cannot control. The Shadow Queen controlled everything by pretending to control nothing, and the ones who thought they had the power spent their lives inside the palm of her hand. Every room has a Shadow Queen. You have met her, you just didn't recognize her, because you were looking at the throne. She was the one who told you what to say before the meeting. She was the one who already knew the outcome before the vote. She was the one who smiled quietly when the man beside her took the credit, because credit was never what she came for. She came for the outcome, she came for the results. She came because the world needed someone who cared more about what gets built than who gets the statue.